The River Hoopers team in this game, they dismantle and destroy the US Monastir team 84-63 to mark their third win in the first round of games. Let's just talk about this. This game, I must say, Kevin Amayo's 30 points, followed by Will Perry's 19, were the difference, especially Kevin Amayo. He has just been balling out. He has been sensational and clearly unstoppable. And also with his 9 assists to go along with his 30 points, there's no stopping this man. And the River Hoopers, on a 3-game winning streak, they are yet to take a loss and are topping the group right now. In this game, their total attendance was 973. And I must say, the most disappointing team is the US Monastir team. This team, I've been closely monitoring them in the game that they played against APR in the first game where they lost, which was very close. And looking at the second game, they played the AS Downers, which they just gave up. And in this one, they just quit. And Marcus Crawford, he has just been abysmal. Despite his 17 points and 6 rebounds has just been poor. And also Ater Majok has also been ineffective throughout the games. And full credit to River Hoopers. They came in and they did their thing and they won this game. Throughout the stat sheet, there is no single stat that they dropped. The River Hoopers, they shot 48% from the field, 66% from 2-point field goals. They shot 32% from downtown and 61% on the line. On 18 attempts, they sank 11. They out-rebounded US Monastir, 45 rebounds. They dished the rock 30 times with 30 assists. They had 9 steals and 2 blocks. This is actually a shot to the US Monastir team because they have the reigning defensive player of the year in Ater Majok. And Marcus Crawford, he was in the AS Downers team that made the finals. But looking at their performance in these 3 games in the Sahara Conference, it has just left me in utter shock because this is a team that you don't expect to look like this. They look like a bottom of the barrel team. They look like a team that has never even been in the BAL, despite the fact that they have never missed any Basketball Africa League season, and they have just been on a tear, especially when they started. They have just been on a tear when they started. But looking at their current performance and looking at the way they retooled and restructured their roster, they don't even know their best team. The coaching staff is just ineffective, and they just don't know how to go ahead and win basketball games. And look at the River Hoopers. This is the second season that they have made BAL, and look at what they are doing. Behind Kevin Amayo's 30 points, this man has just been demolishing teams, and there's no stopping what the River Hoopers are going to do. And right now, as you can see, even when the game started, you could see the River Hoopers were on a mission to tear apart the US Monastir team, and they just started off guns blazing, 25 points in the first quarter from the River Hoopers. This was the highest scoring quarter that they had. Then they followed it up with another strong quarter in the second quarter, with the River Hoopers scoring 24 points. But if you look at the US Monastir team, they're just all lackadaisical. You can see 16 points in the first quarter, 13 points in the second, and you could see the blowout just kept setting in as they put themselves in a very, very deep hole. Despite the 22-point effort in the second half, in the third quarter, to be able to try to get back in the game, it was not enough, because in the fourth, the River Hoopers just put this game out of arm's reach, out of the US Monastir team, and the US Monastir team came out small with a 12-point fourth quarter to close out the blowout. And the River Hoopers just blew out the BAL champions. They didn't win the championship last year, but they won in season 2. And right now, they just don't look like a championship team at all. And this roster, I must say, from the US Monastir team has just been changing, and they don't have, right now, they just don't have what it takes to go ahead and even challenge anyone for a playoff spot, because at best, they're just below everyone in the Sahara Conference. And they trailed in field goal percentage, they shot 37%, which is very ineffective, 44% on 2-point field goals, which is very unacceptable considering the fact that you have Ater Majok and you have got bodies that can be able to bang down low and be able to score. They shot abysmally from the line. They were 5 of 13. They didn't even draw any fouls, and they shot 38% on the free throws. And getting out rebounded and trailing in the assists and steals and blocks. I mean, those are the other things that need to be taken care of by a team that has what it takes to go ahead and win BAL. I know they won BAL Season 2 and this roster is just so different, but the culture should remain the same. And right now, they're not playing like the champions that they were. And right now, things are just looking bleak for them. Even looking at the other statistics, going even deeper into the stat sheet and looking at what they did, you can see they trailed in fast break points, only 7 fast break points to the River Hoopers 19. And you can also see the USM team was so abysmal on offense, they couldn't even get any second chance points. Despite having good bench production with 40 points from the bench, which came in garbage time, they were not able to go ahead and dominate in any other statistic. You could see they trailed in total rebounds to the River Hoopers. They trailed in assists, steals. They had the turnovers on a minimum, but still they lost the game, and they couldn't even generate points from turnovers because they were the ones who were turning over the ball at some point during the game. But looking at what the River Hoopers have done, it is very commendable. Their roster is good, and they have just capped off the first round of games, the first 3 games in a 3-game winning streak. They're yet to take a loss from APR and AS Down as the home team. But looking at the USM team, I mean, they lost their first game, which was actually quite close. That game ended 89-84 against APR, which I must say I was expecting USM prior to this higher conference. I had even picked USM to have a revenge season where they will go ahead and just top the group. But oh my, the table just turned and they've just become one of the most irrelevant teams, scoring-wise. After that game they lost to APR, everything has just gone downhill. This is their second blowout. They got beat by Ace Downers and they got beat by River Hoopers. So if they keep taking L's like this means that no team will be even fearing them, even when they meet them anywhere. So this is very pathetic. And even going deep into the stat sheet, you will just see everything that I'm saying is true. Marcus Crawford, he played north of 36 minutes. He was 7 of 17 from the field, 17 points. And he was a plus-minus from -11. And even if he finished with a double-double of his own, where he led with assists, with 14 assists. But still, he was really, really struggling there to get the team going. Aterma Jock, he was abysmal. I've never seen a bigger fall off like this player. He has been the worst player. He played 31 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 5 shooting, 20% shooting from the field, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, virtually nothing. Then you can see George Williams, another player who is very useless and ineffective. 11 minutes played, 2 points, 1 of 4 shooting from the field, and with 3 turnovers. Very useless. Marcus Crawford was just out there all alone. And you would expect players like Aterma Jock to be that anchor on defense. But looking at his productivity is just poor. And also having less than 10 boards per game, despite being the guy who led in rebounds in the previous seasons. Not even leading in the whole thing, but even game-wise, you could see he really dominated games with his physical presence. He was nowhere to be seen, and he was virtually unplayable. But the River Hoopers team, very good team, very structured. Will Perry, he played 35 minutes. Kelvin Amayo, 37 total minutes. And you can see these guys were playing heavy minutes in there, even David Eke. The River Hoopers are a team that I must say, they just took the assignment seriously. And they know that these opportunities don't turn up every single day. So every time they have a shot at being great, especially in this Sahara Conference, they're going to take it. And they never even skipped a beat. Because Will Perry, Kevin Amayo, Devin Eke, and Peter, they have just been sensational, and they have not let down the Nigerian nation. But you could see Tunisia, the Tunisian-based team, the USM team, they're just abysmal. They are poor. And looking at the way things are going, it's a high likelihood that they're not even going to win a single game because teams already found them out. And there's so little time to be able to make any changes to go ahead and even go ahead and even win games. So that's just a roundup, and if USM don't get things together, there's a high likelihood that they're going to go down with the worst record that they've had in their BAL history. Considering the fact that last year was bad because they had a tied record, but because of the point differential, they didn't even make it. And looking at right now how things are looking, there's a high likelihood that they are going to go beaten. They're on pace to go for an 0-for-6 record with 0 wins. And Tunisian fans, North African fans are just waiting to see when USM is going to win their first games. You could see FUS Rabat topped the group. They topped the Kalahari Conference. Al Ahly topped they topped the Nile Conference. It was up to the USM team to show that North African teams are dominant to top the Sahara Conference. But still, you could see USM, with their poor roster construction, it has led to this point. And I don't think they can be able to get back from this, because every single team is looking towards getting that 1 and 2 spot. And right now, USM, they are just on pace to get an 0-for-6 record. And it's very bad to see a very storied nation, coming through the USM team coming from a country that has won 2 back-to-back titles, look like this. And also, USM won the championship. They're not supposed to look like this. This is not tanking like the NBA, where they go ahead and just lose games purposefully. Every single game matters, and if they don't show up now, it's it for them. But if they miss to win the next 2 games, they're just going to get out. They're just going to leave the tournament like that, win with just like the City Oilers the way they left. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this, and talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.